श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। गुरुब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः। गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषये भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभः निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। शुक्लां भरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्ते। व्यासम् अष्टनप्तारं शक्ते पौत्रमकल्मषं पराशरात्मजं देशगदातं तपोनिधिं व्यासाय विष्णुरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वै ब्रह्मणदेवः शिष्टाय नमो नमः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्. So Krishna, after meeting Kunti, and Kunti tells him the instructions to Pandavas that this is the time to punish Duryodhana for all the wicked things, right? So hearing that, after that, Krishna then leaves Kunti's place and then he sets out, and after worshipping, doing namaskara to her, he leaves that place. So he goes to Duryodhana's, from there he heads to Duryodhana's palace. There he goes unobstructed, goes through all the uh, spacious courtyards, three courtyards. He walks through that and then enters the mansion, which is a high mansion. He enters that one. There, Duryodhana was seated in the middle with all the other kings and surrounded by all the Kurus, his brothers, and everybody. There, Krishna also sees Dushasana, Karna, Shakuni seated along with Duryodhana. And when Krishna entered that court, Duryodhana rose up from his seat along with everybody else, and then they honored Krishna. Krishna was also greeted by everybody that attended there in that assembly, in that court, who was there in Duryodhana's palace. All of them attended. And then Krishna took his seat. He was offered Madhuparka with honey, curd, water, cow, all these things. He was offered as part of Madhuparka. Then Govinda was inquired. He spoke to all the other people assembled there. And then once all the formalities, everything was over, Duryodhana invites him to eat at his home, at his place. But Krishna declines that invitation, saying that he will not eat at Duryodhana's place. And Duryodhana then addresses Krishna with deception in his voice, kind of cunningly. He addresses, saying that, why, Krishna, you don't accept my invitation to eat? Because you are equal to Pandavas and Kauravas, both of us. You helped us as well with your army in this upcoming battle. So you know all the dharma, artha, everything you know. Why are you doing this to me? What is the reason for refusing food at my place? And then at that time, Krishna says that, again, very deep voice, he tells Duryodhana clearly in distinct voice, correctly pronouncing every word, not even a single letter dropped. That means he is very confident in what he's saying. He says that as he has come here as an envoy, and envoys eat at the place only. They eat and accept worship only after the success of their missions, and therefore I will eat after my mission becomes successful. After that, you may entertain me with my attendance. So Krishna says that I'm not eating that. But Duryodhana then again says that you should not say like that. Whether it becomes successful or unsuccessful, we are always trying to make you happy because of your relationship with us. And it is, please don't make this our effort go fruitless. So please accept our worship and this food we are going to offer you. Please come and eat. And Krishna again says that it is not from either desire or from angry or from malice or from for gain or for the sake of argument or from temptation, I would abandon the virtue. So virtuous thing is I should not take the food, because one takes the another person's food only in distress or when it is given with love. Okay, so when it is given inspired by love, one who gives, then only you take it, or in a distress situation. At present, Krishna says that at present I am not inspired by your love, or I'm not plunged into any distress. So I'm not in desperate, hungry situation where I have to eat the food you are going to give me, or it is not something you are giving me this food, inviting me for this worship and food and all these things, because you care about me. You want to offer that me. You want to do this because you want to show that you are doing something. So that's why I'm not coming. So again, he says that you have unreasonable hatred towards Pandavas, and Pandavas are always devoted to virtue, but you always try to harm them. And the one that hates them hates me. The one who loves Pandavas loves me. So that's why Pandavas, they are virtuous, and my own self, they are my own self, and we have common soul. We are common understanding. Just like if you hate them, that means you hate me as well. So the one who following his impulses, lust, anger, and darkness of Atmajnana, so not knowing Atmajnana, the one who hates and seeks to injure the one who is possessed of good quality is regarded as the vilest of the men. And that person who is always wrathful and to the good quality people is regarded as the vilest person. And such a person of uncontrolled soul, who is from ignorance and avarice, hates his own relatives, such a person, with even though he is having every auspicious quality, he can never enjoy the prosperity for long. So here again he's telling Duryodhana, even though you have auspicious qualities, you became a king and you're prince and all these things you are doing, and you're doing sacrifices, honoring brahmanas and everything, but you have this ignorance, you have our greed towards your kinsmen, your family members, relatives, and for this reason your prosperity will not last long. But on the other hand, the people who are good, who having good qualities, even if they bear uh, they do not like something, still they enjoy the prosperity. Uh, and Krishna tells Duryodhana that this food you are offering me is defiled by wickedness, and that's why I cannot eat this food. But I will go to Vidura's place and I will have food there. And after saying this, Krishna walks away from that court and he heads to Vidura's place. And seeing this, Duryodhana becomes very angry with Krishna. And while Krishna was going, Krishna goes to Vidura's house, and when he goes there, Drona, Bhishma, Kripacharya, Bhalika, and many other Kauravas, others, they came there and invite Krishna for meal to eat at their place, but Krishna politely declines all that offer and says that he's going to eat at Vidura's place. And so again, he after that he tells everybody to go away, and he says that I'm very pleased with your offers, but please go away. I'm going to eat at Vidura's place. So then So Krishna was offered the food, and he gives the food to all the brahmanas, and then gives all the gift to brahmanas, and then after taking all their blessings, after serving everybody, he takes the clean food that's leftover food, whatever that was there. He was served that food by Kunti and Vidura. They offer him that food. So after Krishna has taken his food, Vidura after the in the night, Vidura tells him that Krishna, whatever you did, is not right. He says that Dhritarashtra's son Duryodhana always he transgresses the rules of both dharma and artha. He is wicked, he is wrathful, he insults others, and he always desires honors for himself and he disobeys the commands of the aged people. And he does not follow the scriptures, he's ignorant, he's wicked soul, and already overtaken by fate. That person is going to sing, and he's possessed of desire and lust, and he foolishly regards himself as wise, and he has enemy of everybody and things like that. So he describes Duryodhana's characters and tells him that Krishna, you by making Duryodhana angry, whatever the mission you are set out here trying to do, make this peace, becomes even difficult. For you also, it becomes difficult. And Duryodhana thinks that he's always moved by pride and anger, and he thinks that with Bhishma, Drona, Kripa, Karna, Ashwatthama, Jayadratha, all these people on his side, he is never going to accept anything on the peace offering. And he and Karna, they firmly believe that they Pandavas are incapable of defeating Bhishma, Drona, and others. And Duryodhana himself believes that Karna and himself alone are competent to defeat all the Pandavas. So they will never make any peace. If you desire to establish the peace and brotherly feelings between these two parties, I know you want to do that, but Duryodhana will never to agree to that, and he will not give anything to Pandavas, even if the Laters ask even a little piece of land, they will not give him. Duryodhana will not give him. So, in such a case, it is of no use explaining all these things to Duryodhana. It is like singing in front of a deaf person. Sang also a Brahmana explaining everything in terms of in a conclave of Chandalas, explaining such a place where it is of no use. So that Duryodhana, whatever you speak probably will become it will become perfectly useless because of that how Duryodhana's character is. So seeing this again, Vidura again, he says that again. I think that it is not good for you to go there and you to go there and say these things of peace process, whatever you want to say these words. Those words, even though they are right, they are heavy with from the Shastras, point of view, Dharma, Artha, considering those things, you say those things, still, it's not going to be accepted. And Duryodhana has accumulated a strong force and he has suspicions of about yourself on you. Also he has suspicions. So whatever you offer, he probably will not is not going to obey. And Duryodhana is inspired by the firm belief that even Indra himself cannot defeat him, and the words you are going to say, the useful wise words you are going to say, will not have any impact on that person who is whose impulses are lust and anger. So in that among all those people Duryodhana has assembled, you going there and trying to convince him is not good idea. Dhritarashtra's that Duryodhana is always he wishes to have the entire empire, and among all those Kshatriyas, if you go there and something to happen to you, what will happen to Pandava? So my suggestion is don't go. And then Vidura again says that uh, then again he says, I'm telling you all these things because of my love for you and as a friendship for you, the friendship I have with you, that's why I'm telling you. And I know that nobody can do any harm to you, and you are indeed Narayana himself, I know that, and nobody can do anything to you. So you are the Atma of the Antaratma of every creature. So being so, nobody can do any harm to you. But I'm telling you all these things, like there are so many people assembled and you're the only one going there, and they might harm you, all these things. I'm telling you because of my love and care and friendship for you. This is a very nice piece here where Vidura, an aged person, telling Krishna, uh, whom he knows that is Narayana and his all the powers and strength and everything that he wishes to do, he can do. So Vidura still tells him that all these things could happen. Don't go. But then he himself realizes that he is telling all these things to Narayana himself. Then he says, then he explains that I'm telling you this from affection, friendship, and things like that. So this is a good example. We see this thing in day-to-day life as well, right? So our elders tell when we are going out, careful crossing the road, as if we don't know how to cross the road, right? Or anything that little things they tell us, take care, look after that, or be careful, and all these things, right? So they tell us, even though they know that we are capable, at the same time they still tell us because of that affection, that love and friendship that they have towards it. And that's how they tell. Similar thing here, whether as an elderly person tells Krishna what could happen, but then also he knows in back of his mind that it is Narayana himself who is speaking to him there in that night. So Krishna, listening to this, responds that what he said is is right, and it is something a person of great wisdom can only say. And you are possessed of such a great foresight, and that's why you are telling me all these things. And it is again, a friends like you should always say those kind of things, which is consistent with virtue, which is consistent with truth, which is consistent with artha, dharma, artha, kama, dharma, artha, and truth. So again, as a like you said it, like a father, mother would say to me, their children. That's how you told me, and that's consistent with all the uh, things that one would expect. So Krishna accepts those things, and he says that again, it is with. But listen to me. What the reason for I'm coming here? It is well known that Dhritarashtra's son Duryodhana and his wickedness, everything is known, and his hostility of all the Kshatriyas assembled there, that also is very well known. But I still came here to the Kurus because it will be great merit if we liberate from all these people from death. So not just people, the elephants, horses, everything that's going to, all this calamity that's going to come, if we uh, manage to stop that, if I manage to stop that, that will be great thing. Again, Krishna says that the merit is great. One gets the merit if one tries to perform a virtuous action, even if that action results in a failure. He is not successful, still the merit of doing something good goes to that person. On the other hand, the people who are conversant with dharma and shastras, they say that if one thinks of doing something uh, sinful, even if that person does not commit that action, just by thinking it, he gets that result of those sinful actions as if one has committed it. Okay, so look at the differences here. Just by doing it, even if not successful, one gets the merit of good things. But on the other hand, just by mentally thinking about doing something sinful, one gets that merit. Okay, merit or demerit, whatever it is. So that sinful actions, results of that, one will get it. So Krishna says, I will sincerely do try to bring peace between Kurus and Srinjayas. Srinjayas is the army that circumvented Drupada and his army, right? So that's there along with Pandavas. So that army, I'll try to bring peace between those two. So again, this is for the good of Duryodhana, Karna, and all the other Kshatriyas that's there. Again, learned he will regard him to be a wretch who does not, by solicitation, seek to save a friend, right? So who is about to sink in calamity. So as a friend, this is my duty to help him. So if Duryodhana does not want to do this, I can't do anything. But I have to, as a friend, I have to try to save him. Again, doing my best, even by pulling through hair, pulling the hair of somebody. If I have to rescue them from that drowning, then that's what you have to do. So if someone is drowning in a water, what you do, pull their hair and then bring them up above the water, right? So that doesn't mean that you're hurting them, you're trying to rescue them. So that's what I'm going to do again. So if I'm successful, then the blame will not be, it will not be blamed on him. Again, he says that Dhritarashtra, Duryodhana, with his counselors, they could accept my good and beneficial counsels, which is going to be consistent with virtue and profit, and it is competent to dispel this calamity that's upon us, that's in front of everybody. But again, I will try to do everything uh, without compromising Pandava's wishes. So that's what I'm going to do. And if while trying to bring about the good friends, my good friends, that is Pandavas, Duryodhana, judge me wrongly, then I will have my own satisfaction that I tried. As a true friend, I did what I needed to do, and I tried to bring conciliation between the family members. That's what one should do, and that's what I'm doing. Right. So Kurus and Pandavas both are my family, and they are about to fight. As a relative, it is my duty to bring them together. That's what I'm going to do. So Krishna says that people might say that uh, again, people might say that Krishna did not try to stop this war. All right. So Krishna was there. Krishna did not try to stop this war. He was on the Pandava side. He was very eager to fight. People should not say that. I will make my effort and I will do everything. And so if in that Kuru assembly, if people do not try to listen and they try to do any harm or anything, then all the kings on the earth united together, they cannot match me. So don't worry about those things. So he assures those things. And then Krishna, after that, like that, they spoke most of the night, and then Krishna went to sleep on that at Vidura's home. So again, so remember, Dhritarashtra has prepared Dushasana's home for Krishna staying, and Duryodhana offered food and everything. But Krishna came to Vidura's place. He had food there, and he slept at Vidura's place that night. Then, like that, Vidura and Krishna, they spoke most of the night, and Vidura wanted to speak all night, but then the morning came. So when the morning came, as usual, the mantras, Brahmanas chanting mantras in the sacrifice, the morning sacrifice, and all these things came up, and Krishna woke up. He did all his customary morning actions, taking bath, Sandhya prayers, and offering his sacrifice ghee into the libations into the sacrificial fire. All these things he did, and then he worshipped the Brahmanas. And then at that time, Duryodhana, Shakuni, they came there, and he said to Krishna that Dhritarashtra is seated in his court with all the Kurus headed by Bhishma and others. So they are ready to hear from you. Then Krishna greets both of them, and then when the sun rises, Krishna gives the Brahmanas, as usual in the morning, gifts and everything. He gives away all those things, and then Daruka comes there, and Daruka informs him that his chariot is ready. So in that chariot, Krishna uh, Krishna goes towards the Dhritarashtra's assembly. Following him, Duryodhana and Shakuni follow, and Vidura also follows behind Krishna. So Krishna, as Satyaki, Kritavarman, and other warriors who were there with Krishna, who came, some of those who came with Krishna, and all those Yadava warriors that were there, they all went behind Krishna. So as they were going, entire streets were, all the people were there lined up again, just like when Krishna came to Hastinapura the previous day. All of them were lined up to see Krishna, and all the ladies were singing, throwing flowers at him and things like that. So at last, Krishna reached that Kuru assembly. Loud conch shells, trumpets, everything were blown when as he reached, and when he reached there, understanding that he has arrived, all those people, including Duryodhana, Dhritarashtra, everybody stood up. And then Krishna entered that court along with Vidura, Satyaki on his both sides, hand in hand. So again, as he entered, behind him, Karna, Duryodhana, all of them were came, and they came and took their seats. So Bhishma, Drona, Dhritarashtra, all of them were rising from their seat. They welcomed Krishna, and as soon as he came, Dhritarashtra, Drona, Bhishma, all of them welcomed him, and then they, Dhritarashtra's command, they offered him the welcome, Argya, Madhuparka, all those things they offered him to Krishna as a guest. He's come there. Once Krishna is seated, he saw all the rishis whom he saw while him traveling from Upalavya to Hastinapura. He saw all those rishis that were coming. So he saw all of them entering the Hastinapura and entering this assembly. And Krishna tells Bhishma that the rishis have come here to see this assembly, this gathering. So invite them, offer them seat and all the things that you need to do. Worship them as you should. Do all that immediately. And immediately Bhishma, with ordering servants, he brings everything, arranges seats for those rishis that came there, and offers them argyas and other service to them, worships all those rishis that assemble. Dushasana gave a seat to Satyaki, and then Vivingsati gave another one to Kritavarman, and not far away from Krishna, uh, where Krishna was sitting there, Karna, Duryodhana, they sat together on the same seat. Shakuni was very close by with them, and Vidura was sitting on a seat covered with white deer skin next to Krishna. So when all the assembly members were there, they were still looking at, all of them were looking at Krishna and enjoying looking at him at that time. Then after all the kings are seated, there is a perfect silence. Everybody was waiting to hear what Krishna was going to say, and everybody was very keen to hear that. And at that time, Krishna addressed Dhritarashtra. He spoke very deep voice like thunder, clouds during a rainy season, roll of clouds making sounds, a very deep voice. He addresses that assembly, addresses Dhritarashtra, but make sure that entire assembly of those kings and rishis and everyone assembled there can hear that. He says that in order that there is a peace that established between Kauravas and Pandavas without killing of any of these heroes that assembled here and there, I have come here. And besides, apart from that, I don't have any other beneficial words to say. Everything that should be learned in this world is already known to you, because you are very well versed in scriptures and everything. This race of Kuru race is because of its learning behavior and everything, it has all the accomplishments. It is most distinguished of all the royal dynasties, right? So again, joy in the happiness of others, great sighted grief at the sight of other people's misery, desire to elevate distress, abstention from injury, sincerity, forgiveness, truth, all these are among the Kurus. Again, in your race, therefore, there is so noble. He explains, Krishna explains such a great this race is. Again, we looked at from Adi Parva to now, right? So all the kings that came in this race from Yayati, Puru, Nahusha, Yayati, Puru, all these from all these Kurus, Bharata, and so many kings that came, right? So then recently Shantanu, they was there, and then even after Shantanu, his Vichitravirya was very good king. All these kings that came through this, right? So he explains all this, saying that, but your wicked sons headed by Duryodhana, abandoning the both virtue and profit, disregarding the morality, they are deprived of their senses by avarice, and now acting unrighteously towards their own relatives, their own kinsmen. And that's why this terrible danger that threatens has come here. Uh, it has origin in the conduct of these Kurus. So if you become indifferent to it, it will then produce a universal slaughter. If you are willing, then you may be able to ally this danger, because peace, I think, is not difficult to acquire. So the establishment of peace depends on you and myself. So Krishna says that the only two people can bring peace here, and two people have to work together. So that's you and me. So you set your sons right, and I will set the Pandavas right, because on both sides people want war, right? There are people who want war and who want this to happen. I will tell Pandavas to stop it. You tell your sons to stop it. So whatever be your command, your sons should follow it. And again, if they are obedient to you, that would be best for everybody, and peace will remain. And you know all these things. Again, you whatever it will be, uh, it will be good for both Kauravas and Pandavas. Reflecting carefully on this, you act on these things. Again, he explains that those Pandavas are your allies as well. The Pandavas are supported by the Pandavas. You can uh, seek both religion, that is dharma and artha, by every exertion in your power. You cannot have such allies like Pandavas. Whatever you do, you will never get such. Again, protected by those Pandavas, just like Indra, uh, you can rule the entire world. And so if Bhishma, Drona, Krupa, Karna, Vivinchati, Ashwatthama, Vikarna, Somadatta, Balika, all these, Jayadratha, king of Kalinga, Sudakshina, Kambojas, all these, okay, and then along with Yudhishthira, Bhima, Arjuna, and the twins, Satyaki, all these youths and everybody else is there who can fight this together. So if both Kurus and Pandavas at your back, there is nothing that could be happening to you, and everything will be yours only. Everything will be in one family, and all the rulers of the earth, that are equal to you or superior, will seek alliance with you, because nobody will come to face with you in a battlefield, because with having all these people around you. So protected by your sons, grandsons, fathers, brothers, friends, everybody, you will live in happiness. So with these as your supporters, with the sons of Pandav sons as well, you will be able to conquer all your enemies. And so again, he explains in the battle, if the battle takes place, nothing but wholesale destruction will be visible, and that in that destruction, both parties will lose. And what merit can you see from that such a battle? If Pandavas are slaughtered in a battle, or if your own sons get killed, what happiness will bring you? Or will you be happy if Yudhishthira is killed in that battle? Or will you be happy if Duryodhana is killed in this battle? All of them are brave and skilled in weapons, and when they start fighting, a car warrior, a charioteer will destroy another charioteer, a Maharati will destroy another Maharati. Like that, they will fight each other and they will kill each other, and you will be left with nobody. So again, if you regain your natural action, the earth probably will continue. to be people just as it is now. So that's why save all these peoples and from this terrible danger, abandoning anger, enmity. Let these kings embracing each other, let them live in peace, drinking, eating happily together with excellent robes, garlands, and everything. They let them live happily in their lives. So again, let the affection for Pandavas be revived in your heart, because that will lead to peace. Pandavas were deprived of their father. As an infant, you brought them up. Now also you cherish them. So it is your duty to protect them, especially when they are distressed. So he tells that let not your virtue and profit be lost. Okay, both will be lost if we don't agree to this peace process and it results in a war. So again, saluting and worshipping you, the Pandavas have said that at your command, we have followed everything uh, till now, suffered a great misery. For 12 years, we lived in the woods. 13th year, we lived in incognito mode, and we never broke our pledge. Even the Brahmanas who were with us, they can tell us all this. We have abided by everything you told us to do. Now, please do what you are supposed to do, which is giving us the share of our kingdom. And again, you are fully cognizant with dharma, artha, and everything. So, knowing that we are obedient to you, we have quietly undergone such a misery. Please behave like a father or a brother or a guru to a father or a brother to their son or younger brothers, or a guru to his disciples, right? Act like in such a way so that it is as a duty of our father, you make it right. Whatever that has gone wrong towards us, make it right. So then Krishna again tells Dhritarashtra that those Pandavas have said that these assembled kings, everybody as well, if any of these assembly kings assemble here who is constant with morality and things like that, they should not let some improper things to happen. And again, when righteousness pierced by unrighteousness, it seeks the protection of an assembly. And if assembly does not act, then the assembly members deserve to be killed, and they are the destroyers of that dharma. So that's why this assembly assembled, the kings assembled here, should also speak and urge King Dhritarashtra to towards the peace process. So Krishna again once more tells that Pandavas again have been consistent with dharma. Yudhishthira always goes on the path of dharma. He always listened to you, and even when you did all the things to them, you even tried to kill them, burn them, sent them to forest, you deprived of their kingdom and everything. Still, Yudhishthira worships you. While there, or even when he was given that Khandoprastha, he turned that into Indraprastha, and still uh, he brought entire kingdom under entire earth under his control as Rajasuya sacrifice, but he still obeyed you and never disregarded you. But Shakuni took everything away and insulted Draupadi in that assembly. All these things happened, and for the sake of dharma, artha, and for the happiness, for make this peace and do not allow this earth's population to get slaughtered. He tells Krishna tells Dhritarashtra to restrain his sons, and who have covetousness proceeded too far now. And again, Pandavas are ready to wait for you, and they will serve you. But you look after them like you would look after your own sons. So Krishna delivers this message at that. All the kings and everybody assembled there, they quietly agreed to that, but none of them ventured to say anything because Duryodhana was there and they were afraid of Duryodhana speaking against Duryodhana. So all of them agreed to Krishna and they thought, yeah, whatever Krishna said is right, but they did not speak a word. So we will look at what happens after that. So there are few stories coming up. So first, Parashurama narrates a story, and then Kanva Muni narrates a story, and then there is story of Galava and few other stories coming from next week onwards. Next time onwards we will look at that. Any questions for today?